The UK government's digital ID proposals will create a centralised system to track, ration and permission everyday activities and purchases, enabling state enforcement of mandatory medical treatments, warns journalist and freedom campaigner Alex Klaushofer.
A majority of Brits are concerned about the implications of digital ID, with more than half of Brits concerned about the implications of being tracked based upon this new proposed government policy. Let's get reaction from Alex Klaushofer, who is a journalist and freedom campaigner. Do we know what the government are actually proposing to do? Because they've watered down some of their plans, haven't they?
It's a centralised system that they want, which means the word here is interoperable. Otherwise, data sharing, which means that when you put your data into one bit, it automatically goes across to another bit and people in those other departments or bodies get access to it. So that is part of the reason why it is concerning, because when you do that, you are creating a system which not only tracks potentially, but also gives permission or not. So we're talking about a potential tracking and auditing system and a potential permissions system, all run centralised by basically a state computer. In Britain 2026, we've got a number of really big red flags to tell us that we shouldn't accept this, we shouldn't go ahead with this. One is the constant talk about restrictions in the name of climate. Fuel, energy, meat, all that kind of thing.
The idea that if you buy a steak, you might not be able to pay for it because you've hit your carbon allowance for the week.
Yeah, I mean, the Climate Change Committee has explicitly talked about this. That is a government taxpayer-funded body. They think it's okay to make these decisions for us. And of course, we shouldn't be forgetting COVID and how quickly we went from a functioning liberal democracy to all being locked up in our homes, or in my case, fleeing the country.
More power to you for doing that. It's disgraceful that people, for example, were forced to take the vaccine just to have a normal life in this country.
There are many threads in this whole digital ID story, but one of the clear threads, if you're following what the various bodies that I've been talking about are doing and looking at how it's been used in the past, is that this would enable a more effective authoritarian enforcement of mandatory medical treatments. The thing that really freaked me out about the consultation was that it talked about a government service checker. Now, it said that where digital ID would be required for things like even, say, buying alcohol, it wouldn't be enough for a person to look at the ID, say, on a phone. They would have to run it through this government checker, effectively the computer. So what that means is that the state is authorising or not every single activity or purchase that is linked to digital ID. So we absolutely don't want this.